Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to do a complete Elliott waves analysis on KASPA's price chart in a very short time, starting from the lowest low down here about 5.3 cents. And I am really interested in KASPA. Why? Because I think this is going to put all my Elliott wave capability to the absolute maximum test. Why is that? You see, the structures in here in KASPA, in my view, are extraordinarily complicated, but I'm going to try at least to be 100% objective and show you a bullish and also a bearish count at the same time. And in this video, we are only going to talk about the bullish case, and I'm going to tell you, a spoiler alert, why I do sort of kind of prefer the bullish scenario as my primary case. So, are you ready? Let's just go around here and talk about some basic concepts. You see, if in terms of Elliott waves, you want to argue, for example, we have hit our final low around here, then okay, fair enough. You need to be able to find that off of the lowest low in this region, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. This specific structure is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the subwaves, if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you know what I'm about to say. We must be able to find 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Let's say WXY into 4, and sure, an ABC structure into wave 2. And also, after a 5 wave up, we are going to have a move down. But here's a key point. That move is going to be a correction structure. And in terms of the shape of that correction, we can consider many different scenarios. But in this specific case, I want to talk about having an ABC in form of an expanded flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this initial high and then a strong move down into C. And as you can see in here, we are definitely going to take the low of our A leg. And in terms of the sub waves, you know it, ABC into A, ABC into B, and yep, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure down into C. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. And I think we can sort of kind of agree that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, which by the first look, I'm telling you right now, it's definitely not an optimistic sign. However, when you zoom in a bit more and you will start counting some waves in this initial bounce from the lowest low, you will start to think about having the idea of an ABC expanded flat, because mainly in this phase up in KASPA, there's a good chance we are not able to find a 5 wave. Instead, this might be just a simple ABC up and below. Okay, according to that count, this can be also a BC structure down. And what do you have on a higher degree? Probably I'm going to argue an ABC expanded flat. And pay attention, I am absolutely able to find in KASPA from here to about the highs a beautiful looking 5 wave, and here are sub waves. From this point to about here, definitely are wave 1, correction for 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 3 to about here or here, doesn't really matter a whole lot. Then correction structure into wave 4. I'm gonna say probably this was an ABC flat, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, a clear one into wave 5. And as you can see, we definitely got a solid extension structure into wave 5. So I'm going to argue in KASPA, because I am able to find some decent bullish scenarios with not a whole lot of trouble. Okay, maybe we are bullish, and off of the lowest low, this is 1, this is 2, and what's next? A good move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. So as long as we are not proven otherwise, let's go with the bullish count. Now, what is going on in like very short term? So here's the situation. I think this is definitely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to about this point, excuse me, followed by a correction structure down, probably, yes, an A, B, and then a truncated wave C. This can be another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to about this point, and maybe the end of our wave 4 is going to be in here, doesn't really matter. Correction down and another 5 wave on the upside. And if you go on some lower time frames, you realize that we do have the sub waves for a beautiful looking 5 wave. So what happened? We are having 3 sets of 5 waves, so maybe this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning what? probably in KASPA, the bottom is in right in here around the 60 cents area. However, this doesn't really mean that from the current point right in here, we should expect an immediate bounce. In fact, I'm here to tell you, look, probably in the short term, we are going to get a move down, but seems like that overall in here we are having a slow and choppy move. So you know what, maybe this is going to be a correction structure. And why do I believe, this is my final point, that this move down can continue a little bit more? Here is, let's summon more. Okay, as you can see in here, we got a very quick bounce in H4 time frame, and whenever you are having shadows like this around them, we are having some very important gaps that were created as a result of the bounce being way too strong and way too fast. And I believe gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled. So from my POV, makes sense to argue probably for the next couple of days in KASPA, we are going to get a move down in order to reach to about these regions. And even we may very well see a continuation of this move in order to take the lowest low. Overall, it's not really going to matter a whole lot, but you know, just manage your expectations and expect a move down in the short term. And for example, the last time that we got something like this, it was actually on the opposite direction. Where was it? No, it was actually on the same direction. There we go. What happened in here? We got a very strong move down, followed by an immediate bounce, and this is a huge shadow, which around it, based on what we said, we definitely created some very important gaps. And what happened next? Sure, we did get a very small bounce, but followed by that, we got a decent move down and filled all the gaps. And then, well, unfortunately, according to this thing, we continued our move down. So again, makes sense to expect some sort of a move down in KASPA. And for just more, let's say, yep, probably we are going to have like a 10% move. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in KASPA. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.